Welcome to JCCR Racing, where we're testing out the Porsche 911 RSR versus, well, that first place, the 911 RSR. And it begs the question, what happens when you get kicked out of the D League or kicked out of the C League or whatever league you're racing in? Why does it happen, and what happens when you're about to move into a new league? Well, you can see here that first place here is C for speed and E for safety. So right before you get kicked into or upgrade or earn your spot into the higher league, you got to race against the dirtiest drivers of the league you're trying to get into. So we've had the last 3-4 races with a lot of D and C safety ratings, and here we are with our D speed, but we're going to take on someone that's 2 seconds faster than us, a whole 2 seconds faster than us, but very dirty. So you have to kind of ride through the filth, drive through it. You got to just, absorb the suck and live through it. So let's see how we can get out of this one. We're going to need some defensive driving. So we got our tune there, brake balance to -3, and we're obviously going to drive with radar, because when we're playing around first place, that's going to be quite dangerous. And even with a safety rating of S, that's the highest safety rating, I'd say watch out, because the sportsmanship really isn't all there in Gran Turismo 7, because there's really not much penalty for destroying other cars. So a lot of it happens, a lot of it goes down, but we're going to do our best to have a clean race. I always feel that safe, smart driving will earn you positions. Remember, if you're starting, let's say you're starting in 10th, and you try to bang every car you go past, you're going to lose time every single car you pass. You're going to slow them down, you're going to slow yourself down, and while you might take them off the track and make them lose 5 to 10 seconds, they might come back and retaliate later on. And even if they don't, you're going to probably have success 4 out of 5 times, and 1 out of 5 times you're just going to look like a clown, because you're going to go to hit them off, they're going to do one little maneuver, and you might be gone for good. Now the Porsche 911 really have to watch out, because on these elevated curbs, big chance of sliding out. The 911 is not the easiest car to drive. It's one of the harder vehicles to drive. I'd say it's a bit of a expert. It requires a certain expertise, so we'll call it an expert vehicle. Not quite as bad as the Lamborghini Huracan. It certainly can have one of the fastest lap times on pretty much every single track, but it can also very much become the Huracans, because it is very difficult to learn and control. It's no landscaper's car, and even though Lamborghini started off as a tractor company, it's got to be about the worst car, one of the worst cars for trying to go through the grass. It is no lawn tractor by any means whatsoever. Now, just recently, if you catch our videos, you'll see that we tested out the Toyota Supra. Wow, top car. It's overpowered. It's a meta car, you could say. Absolute beast on the track. Here you got to try to go through pedal to the metal through the second last turn of the race, of the track. Oh, and we went a little too hard. At some point we just have to let go of the brake and hope for the best, otherwise we'll slide right through. So very, very slow through that corner. We'll try to nail that for the next 2 laps. That's one not to imitate. And we do try to cover tips and tricks here at JCCR Racing, because we want to learn and grow together. And our goal is to go from beginner to winner every week when we take on a new track. Sometimes it's a track we've never raced before, often enough actually, because I am a beginner racer, and I do want to try to go from 0 to hero, so all the way from the E-Class all the way up to the A-Class for speed. And part of that means we really need to work to stay in safety rating S, because online racing in Gran Turismo 7, it's kind of the Wild West. A lot of Mario Kart mixed with Twisted Metal and a lot of sim racing, really. But it definitely adds a challenge. So I'd love to hold 3rd here, podium position, if we can catch up to 2nd. Or if they waste their time battling it out, not being safe, smart drivers, well, we might get an opportunity to pass. Now here we want to really help everyone out. We want to become faster drivers with our incredible live chat. We want to become a faster driver. That's the goal. We want to help you become a faster driver through safe, smart driving and a handful of tips from the pros. And if that sounds good to you, and joining a community of very, very cool people that will soon enough feel like friends, just totally free of charge, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn bell notifications on, and drop a comment so so everyone can get to know you. And we do have, I'm by far no pro driver, I'm a beginner driver, but we do have pro drivers in the live chat that are regularly dropping incredible tips, lots of help there, so do make sure, we're quite blessed actually. They are the JCCR Racing Crew, so join the JCCR Racing Crew, the first 1,000 subscribers, you're going to be the original crew, the JCCR Racing Crew OGs. I didn't quite get the right line for that because I pushed it to the limit and went to the limit of the track. But one definite tip, drive with radar so you know what's coming at you before you get speared into another stratosphere. And try to use up the whole track. Go from the complete outside of a turn, drive in quite a ways, quite far, and then turn in. And try to hunt those apexes. So we'll always be hunting apexes here. That's the inside of a turn. And we will always be watching fastest laps to try to get the tips and tricks. So here outside to the inside, and the 911 does not like grabbing that curb going up Grandma's house, and that is one surefire way to lose a race really, really quickly. So I guess I'd say I make mistakes, and you can learn from my mistakes and not repeat them. The 911 is not a car that will tolerate certain curbs. Not like the Toyota Supra that handled those really well. The Nissan GTR handles them really, really well also. So those are very easy cars to drive, but if you really love the mid-engine cars, since they're really poster cars, you know, they're the type of exotic car you'd put up in your room on a poster when you're a kid. Well, if you want to stick with the mid-engine and want something really beginner and easy to drive, consider the McLaren. It is absolutely fantastic. And another one to consider is the NSX. Either one of the NSX, either the old racing car NSX from, I guess, late 90s, early 2000s, or the NSX, the most recent NSX. And here, great pro tip, not my tip, but one from the pros. Streamline behind people, as you will increase your speed, but be careful that you're not so close that you can't read the track anymore and see your brake points and whatnot. And so they don't surprise you with a little brake check and you're too late and you bump into them and get a time penalty. Because while pounding on someone through the straightaway doesn't get you a time penalty, it is the dirtiest thing you could possibly ever do in sim racing. There's no penalty for it, and we have been taken out on the straights quite often, so that's unfortunate. We got up into third, and we lost it on our own error, not from dirty drivers, which actually makes me pretty happy. It is quite a relief from the races we've got into recently. We will post a race pretty soon. Well, the last race that we raced, we finished in one of the last races we finished in 4th, but another race we went from, what was it, 3rd or 4th, all the way to getting completely destroyed into last and try to crawl our way back up. Got a few positions, but you might want to check that race out if you want to see some of the dirtiest driving you'll ever see in Gran Turismo 7. Now, that was our race tonight. Thank you so much for watching. We are blessed to have you watching and would love if you drop a comment so we can get to know each other. Just Even if your comment is howdy or finisher to say that you finished the video, show us that you're not a quitter, finish the video. And in our races, we don't quit here, we don't cry quit, and we don't rage quit, even though online racing can be it's either extremely frustrating or extremely rewarding. The adrenaline rushes, it's action-packed, chaotic racing, and we do hope you continue to join us for it. And before we sign out, we just want to give a good thumbs up to Andy. Started in first, finished in first, was 2 seconds faster than us. We JCCR Racing, we started up in second, and first is a whopping 2 seconds faster. That's wild, a crazy concept for racing, especially on a rolling start when you think, what is he like, 8 seconds faster than last, and 8 seconds on a rolling starts about 10 seconds or 15 seconds behind him. So just absolutely wild. But that's just the way the cookie crumbles. We hope they bring grid starts back. That's when you start on the green light, red to green light. Absolutely love it. But congratulations to Andy working on getting his safety rating up so he can stop racing with other C-Class drivers that are just absolutely violent. Now to Gelmoni Racing. Great job. Your D rating's gone up. Your S rating has stayed the same. And sometimes these days, S rating staying the same says that you did get into some trouble, but we didn't go and attack anyone, and our S rating didn't go up either. But our speed rating did go up because, well, the 911 is a fantastic car. It's fast, just like the Huracan, but the Huracan can also become the Huracant if you haven't absolutely mastered it, so I considered it kind of like a pro car. And the 911, as you saw in the race, can, well, it just doesn't handle those curbs. It's almost a perfect car. It's so fast, it brakes incredibly well. It accelerates really, really quickly other than out of first gear because there's just so much meat to that first gear. But it's a little less finicky and easier to control than the Ferrari 458 Italia. You want an easy mid-engine car, go with the McLaren, go with the NSX, one of the two NSXs. But this certainly isn't overpowered the way the Toyota Supra is. We've taken the Toyota Supra over those curbs, no issues. GTR, no issues. So those are the cars I recommend if you're having trouble with the races. Now, again, thank you so much for watching. I wish you all more cars and more power. And until next time, I really do hope that you get to put the pedal to the metal on a dream car sometime real soon. Again, thanks for watching. See you in the next video.